Crippled by endless thirst for ages, an alien dragon turned to a human child for help. The planet Charis had been dry for centuries. Its red desert stretched endlessly, broken only by jagged crystal spires that shimmered in the pale sunlight. The air was thin, and storms of sand and energy whipped across the barren landscape. Humans rarely came here, except for scientists brave or foolish enough to explore its secrets. At a small research outpost on Charis, Lena, an 11-year-old human prodigy, stood on the observation deck staring at the horizon. She loved this place, not for the beauty of the desert, but for the mysteries it hid. While the adults fussed over equipment and schedules, Lena's mind wandered to stories of strange alien life forms. Her curiosity was boundless, her courage even greater. "Lena, come inside." "It's almost time for dinner," called Dr. Varen, the lead scientist, without looking up from his console. "I'll be in soon," Lena replied, but her eyes stayed fixed on the distant canyon where the scanners had picked up unusual readings earlier that day. Something had moved there, something large. None of the sensors could identify it. That night, while everyone else slept, Lena tiptoed out of the small sleeping quarters. She carried a flashlight and a small backpack filled with a water bottle, a portable scanner, and her notebook. She wanted to see the source of the strange readings. The canyon loomed ahead like a giant wound in the planet's surface. Crystals reflected the moonlight, throwing shimmering patterns across the sand. Lena walked carefully, aware that the desert was unpredictable. She had always been careful, but her curiosity outweighed her fear. Then she saw it. A massive form lay collapsed at the bottom of the canyon. Its scales glittered even in the faint light, but they were cracked and dry. Its wings were torn, and a deep, rasping breath echoed across the rocks. Lena froze. The creature was enormous, far larger than any animal she had ever seen. Its eyes were sunken and filled with pain, and then it spoke, not aloud but in her mind. "Human, please, water." Lena staggered back, almost dropping her flashlight. She had read about telepathic aliens but never believed she would meet one. Yet here it was, pleading, vulnerable and alone. I can try to help," Lena said softly. She wanted to sound confident, but her voice trembled. What are you?" "I am called Sarathis," the dragon said. Its voice was both gentle and powerful, echoing in Lena's mind. "I have lived for ages, longer than most stars have burned. I have flown across galaxies, seen civilizations rise and fall, and now I suffer. I am thirsty, endlessly thirsty." Lena's heart ached. She had seen animals in distress, but this was different. This was a being that had survived for thousands of years, crippled by something it could not overcome. "Water won't be enough," Sarathis continued. "I cannot drink as you do. I need something else, something rare, connected to life itself." Lena swallowed hard. She had never imagined a situation like this. Her small human mind raced with possibilities. The scanners at the outpost had not detected normal water sources, but perhaps she could find something. She pulled out her portable scanner and aimed it at Sarathis. The readings were strange. Energy pulsed from the dragon in irregular patterns, unlike anything Lena had studied. She realized that conventional science might not work here. She would need to use her imagination, her knowledge of alien technology, and her courage. I'll help you," Lena said again, more firmly this time. "But you have to promise not to hurt me." "You have my word," Sarathis replied. Relief washed over Lena. Though he was a dragon, ancient and powerful, he respected the small human standing before him. For hours, Lena stayed by Sarathis's side, studying him and taking notes. She noticed the cracks in his scales pulsing faintly with energy. She realized that whatever had caused his endless thirst had also damaged his body and life force. Lena sketched diagrams in her notebook, recording every detail. By morning, the first light of Charis revealed the full scale of the canyon. Lena climbed to a higher ledge and looked down at Sarathis. He was still alive, but barely. His wings twitched weakly and his eyes were heavy with exhaustion. "Doctor." Varen and the team had noticed Lena's absence and came looking for her. When they saw the dragon, they froze. Is that alive?" one of the scientists whispered. "It's a dragon," Lena said simply, "and it's hurt. It needs help." The adults hesitated. Dragons were legendary, often feared, and this one was massive. But Lena's determination was infectious. Slowly they approached, keeping their equipment ready but showing no aggression. Sarathas opened one eye and met Lena's gaze. "Humans, you are different. You do not fear what you do not understand. Perhaps you can help me when all others have failed." Lena's mind raced. She remembered ancient alien texts she had studied, the fragments found on Charis and other planets. There were mentions of creatures that survived on energy instead of water, beings whose life depended on rare forms of cosmic fluid, often tied to intelligence and sentience. "That's it," Lena murmured. "You need life energy, but we can't harm anyone. There must be another way." Sarathas nodded slowly, as if understanding her thought completely. "Yes, only humans can solve this. Your kind is creative, daring, compassionate. That is why I have called to you." The human team began setting up temporary shelter for the dragon, using force fields and energy shields to stabilize him. Lena worked tirelessly, connecting scanners, monitoring his condition and trying simple remedies: water, nutrients, heat. But nothing worked. Hours turned into a day. The dragon's strength faded. Every now and then, a soft telepathic whisper would reach Lena. "Time is short. I cannot survive long like this." Lena knew she had to find a solution fast. She pored over every book, every ancient text in the outpost's database, trying to find clues. Then she remembered a legend. Fragments of alien ruins scattered across Charis contained a device called the Water for Life generator, a technology lost for centuries. It could convert raw energy into a form compatible with life, even for beings like Sarathas. But the generator was far away, buried under shifting sands in the desert. The journey would be dangerous. Energy storms, predatory aliens, and the harsh terrain itself could easily kill a human, or worse, destroy the fragile dragon. Lena knew she had no choice. She approached Dr. Varen and explained her plan. "We can't just leave him here," she said firmly. "If the generator exists, we have to find it. He won't survive otherwise. And I can lead the way. I know the readings, I can navigate the canyon, and I understand his energy patterns." The scientists exchanged uneasy glances. They were adults trained for logic and caution, yet here was a child making life-or-death decisions. Finally, Dr. Varen nodded. "All right, Lena, we'll follow your lead, but we stay safe, we stay together. You are in charge for now." Lena smiled faintly, pride mingled with fear. She felt the weight of responsibility but also the thrill of adventure. She turned to Sarathas, who was barely stirring. "We're going to help you," she whispered. "I promise." That night the team camped near the dragon. Lena stayed awake, watching him, listening to the faint pulse of his telepathic voice. He told her stories of the stars, of planets no human had ever visited, of civilizations that had risen and fallen. She realized that this was not just a creature, this was a living history of the universe. "You humans, you are small, yet you carry courage like no other," Sarathas murmured. "Perhaps you are the key to survival for more than me." Lena's heart beat faster. She had never thought of herself as important in the grand universe. Yet here she was, a small human child, trusted by an ancient, cosmic being to save its life. As the first light of Charis rose, Lena stood on the canyon edge, staring at the distant dunes where the generator might lie. The desert seemed endless, but she was determined. She would find the device, she would save Sarathas, and she would prove that humans, no matter their size, could make a difference in a galaxy full of wonders and dangers. For now, the dragon rested, fragile but alive. Lena took a deep breath, adjusted her backpack, and whispered to herself, "I can do this. I have to do this, for him and for humanity." And with that, the first step of their perilous journey began. The sun rose over the endless deserts of Karis, painting the sky in shades of orange and red. The air shimmered with heat, though the nights were freezing cold. Lena, now fully awake and alert, adjusted her backpack and checked the portable scanner. Every reading from Sarathis was weak, barely a pulse. Time was slipping away and every second counted. "Doctor Varen, I think we should start moving toward the location I marked last night," Lena said. Her voice was steady, but inside her heart raced. The desert was unforgiving and the generator they sought was far away. The adults nodded, understanding the gravity of the situation. Though humans were fragile in this harsh environment, Lena's careful planning gave them hope. They packed their portable equipment and reinforced Sarathis's temporary shelter with extra shields. "Remember," Dr. Varen said, "we protect each other. Lena, you lead, but we all watch the dragon. He's still very weak." Lena smiled faintly. "I won't let him down." They began their journey. The desert stretched endlessly, a sea of sand and jagged crystal formations. Lena guided them using her scanner, reading the faint energy traces left by the dragon's past movement. She noted that Sarathis's energy pulse seemed to respond to certain mineral deposits. He was guiding them, even in weakness. Hours passed. The sun climbed higher and the heat became unbearable. Lena led the team along safer paths, avoiding unstable crystal spires and sinkholes that could swallow a human or worse, the dragon. At noon, the desert shifted violently. A sudden energy storm swept across the horizon. Lightning crackled unpredictably, striking the crystals and sending shards flying like deadly projectiles. "Get down!" Lena shouted, diving behind a large rock. The others followed, pulling portable shields over themselves. Sarathis groaned. His energy was weak, but he telepathically warned them. "Storm, dangerous. Stay low. Trust your instincts." Lena realized that he was not only giving them warnings, but teaching them to read the environment like a predator. Even in weakness, Sarathis's knowledge of survival was invaluable. The storm lasted for almost an hour. When it passed, the desert seemed calmer, though Lena noticed deep rifts in the sand where the lightning had struck. She helped the team navigate through the treacherous paths, careful not to exhaust themselves or Sarathis. By late afternoon, they reached a plateau overlooking a valley. Below lay ruins of an ancient alien city, half buried in sand and crystal. Lena's scanner beeped rapidly. She had found signs of the Water for Life generator. The ruins were vast and filled with energy anomalies, dangerous but promising. "Stay close," Lena warned. "This place is unstable." The team descended carefully. Crumbling towers and shattered walls surrounded them, covered in alien symbols that Lena could barely decipher. She had studied these symbols before. They often contained warnings, instructions, or records of past experiments. She tried to focus, knowing that understanding them could mean the difference between life and death. Suddenly, a low growl echoed through the ruins. From the shadows, a pack of desert predators emerged. Their skin was like rough stone, eyes glowing faintly red. They moved quickly, circling the humans. Lena held her ground. She noticed that the predators reacted to certain sounds and light patterns. Using a small flashlight and rhythmic tapping, she created patterns that confused the creatures. The humans edged past, careful and silent. The predators hesitated, then retreated into the ruins. "Good thinking, Lena," Dr. Varen said, astonished. "You saved us all." Lena smiled faintly. "We have to keep moving. Sarathis can't wait." As they navigated deeper into the ruins, Lena noticed a faint energy glow coming from the center of the city. She realized it was the generator, partially buried and inactive. But the closer they got, the more unstable the ruins became. Floors collapsed, walls teetered, and the air vibrated with residual energy. "This is it," Lena whispered. "The generator, it's here." The team began clearing debris, carefully revealing the ancient machine. It was massive, covered in alien glyphs, and seemed to pulse faintly with latent energy. Lena touched the control panel, studying the symbols and patterns. She realized that activating it without proper calibration could be disastrous. The energy it produced could harm the dragon or even destroy part of the ruins. "Lena, be careful," Dr. Varen warned. "We don't know what it can do." "I know," Lena replied, "but we have to try. There's no other way." Hours passed as Lena worked tirelessly, connecting her portable scanner to the generator, deciphering alien scripts and mapping energy flows. Sarathes, though weak, guided her telepathically. "Adjust, slowly feel the energy, do not rush." The generator hummed to life, casting brilliant lights across the ruins. Lena carefully adjusted the settings, watching the energy pulses. For a moment, she feared she might fail. Then she noticed a pattern, energy flowing in harmony with Sarathes's own life force. "Yes, yes," she whispered. "It's working." Suddenly, the ruins shook violently. The generator's energy attracted attention. From the shadows, rival alien scavengers arrived, drawn by the machine's powerful pulse. Their ships hovered above the ruins, scanning for life and energy. "They're here for the generator," Lena shouted. "We have to protect it and Sarathes." The humans quickly set up makeshift barriers, using crystals and energy shields to block the scavengers' scans. Lena realized that a direct fight would be impossible. Instead, she devised a clever plan. She rigged the ruins with the old drones they had brought for mapping, programming them to create false energy signatures that would confuse the aliens. The plan worked. The scavengers, detecting multiple energy sources, hesitated and eventually left, searching elsewhere. Lena exhaled in relief. "Good thinking, Lena," Dr. Varen said. "You outsmarted them." Lena nodded, though her mind was still on the generator. She had one chance to save Sarathes. Carefully, she connected a final energy conduit from the generator to the dragon's resting place outside the ruins. The energy flowed, glowing like liquid light. Sarathes groaned as the energy reached him. His cracked scales began to shimmer faintly. He opened his eyes, weak but alert. Lena felt a rush of hope. "Keep going, you're helping him," she whispered. The generator's energy began to stabilize, flowing in harmony with Sarathes's life force. Slowly, his breathing became steadier. The once fading pulse in his body grew stronger and the light in his eyes returned. For the first time in centuries, Sarathes lifted his head. He looked at Lena, gratitude shining in his telepathic voice. "You human, you saved me more than I can say. Your courage, your mind, your heart are extraordinary." Lena smiled faintly, though exhaustion weighed on her. "We're not done yet. We have to make sure you can survive fully. We need to study the generator more, and we'll find a way for you to drink safely without harming anyone." Sarathes lowered his head slightly, as if bowing in respect. "You're kind, small, fragile, yet capable of the impossible. Perhaps humanity can change the galaxy." The team stayed in the ruins for the night, resting but watching the generator's energy carefully. Lena documented everything, sketching diagrams, writing notes, and monitoring Sarathes's recovery. Though he was still weak, hope had returned. As Lena lay awake that night, she thought about the journey ahead. The generator was only the first step. They would need to find a permanent solution to Sarathes's thirst, and who knew what other dangers awaited in the desert or beyond the stars. Yet she felt a deep sense of pride. A human child, small and alone in the vast universe, had faced an ancient alien being and helped it survive. The bond between them had grown stronger, built on trust, courage, and ingenuity. The stars above Karis shone brilliantly, as if cheering for the small human girl and the ancient dragon who now rested safely. Lena knew that tomorrow, the real quest would begin. They would travel further, face new dangers, and discover more secrets hidden in the galaxy. But for now, she allowed herself a moment of quiet triumph. She whispered to Sarathas, who was barely stirring but listening closely, "We'll save you completely, I promise." And in the quiet of the alien ruins, under the endless sky of Karis, a human child and an ancient dragon prepared for the challenges that awaited them, bound together by courage, intelligence, and the unbreakable spark of hope. The sun rose slowly over the deserts of Karis, casting long shadows across the ruins where Lena and her team had spent the night. The generator continued to hum softly, its energy pulsing like the heartbeat of a living being. Sarathas, the ancient dragon, had grown stronger, his wings regaining a faint glow and his eyes clearer than they had been in centuries. Yet he was not fully recovered. The endless thirst still lingered, a shadow over his mighty body. Lena stood at the edge of the ruins, notebook in hand, scanning the horizon. The desert stretched endlessly, but today's mission was clear: fully restore Sarathas before the desert claimed him again. "Doctor Varen, I think I've figured out how to stabilize the energy flow completely," Lena said. Her voice was calm, confident. "The generator can sustain him, but I need to adjust the output carefully. If I'm wrong, it could be dangerous." The lead scientist nodded. "We trust you, Lena. Just remember, we're all here to help. You're not alone." Lena smiled faintly. "I know, but I have to do this. He's counting on me." Carefully, she climbed down to the generator platform, connecting the last energy conduits. Sarathas watched her, his immense head tilting slightly, as if sensing the determination radiating from the small human. His telepathic voice flowed gently into her mind. "Your courage, it is unlike anything I have seen. Perhaps humans are truly capable of changing the course of stars." Lena felt a mixture of pride and urgency. She had studied the generator for days, analyzed ancient alien scripts, and coordinated with her team. Now, the moment of truth had arrived. She began calibrating the generator, aligning its energy flow with the unique patterns of Sarathas's life force. The energy shimmered like liquid light, swirling around the dragon. Lena carefully monitored the readings, adjusting minute by minute. Her small hands moved confidently, her mind sharp despite exhaustion. Suddenly, a tremor shook the ruins. The generator hummed louder, its energy pulses growing stronger. Lena's heart raced. The desert had shifted overnight. Sandstorms and crystal collapses could destabilize the ruins at any moment. She glanced at Sarathas. He was weak but alert, his massive wings twitching slightly. "Stay calm," Lena whispered both to herself and the dragon. "We can do this." "We have to." A sudden flash of light erupted from the generator. Lena flinched, shielding her eyes. The energy pulses swirled violently, responding to Sarathas's own force. For a moment, it seemed as if the entire planet vibrated with power. Lena realized she needed to merge her own understanding of human ingenuity with the alien technology. Carefully, she synchronized her portable scanner with the generator's control panel, feeding precise adjustments into the system. The energy pulses began to harmonize. Slowly, steadily, they wrapped around Sarathas like a warm embrace. The cracks in his scales began to close, his wings strengthening, and a soft, radiant glow spread across his enormous body. Lena could feel the dragon's life force stabilizing, his endless thirst beginning to fade. Sarathas exhaled deeply, a sound like wind over mountains. "You, human, you have done what none before could. My strength returns, my pain lessens. You are remarkable." Lena's eyes filled with tears. "We're not done yet. We have to make sure it lasts and that you can survive outside these ruins." The team worked tirelessly alongside her. They reinforced Sarathas's shelter, adjusted the energy conduits, and monitored the generator. Every now and then, Lena would make small tweaks, guided by intuition and knowledge of both human and alien systems. As evening approached, the generator's light dimmed to a steady glow. Sarathas rose slowly, testing his wings. They stretched fully for the first time in centuries. The desert air ruffled his scales and he lifted off the ground, hovering gracefully above the ruins. Lena's heart leapt. "You did it," Dr. Varen exclaimed. "He's fully recovered." Sarathis landed gently beside Lena. His massive head lowered, bringing his eyes to hers. "Human Lena, you are the spark that revived an ancient life. Your courage, your mind, your heart are gifts beyond measure." Lena smiled, exhausted but triumphant. "I just did what anyone would do. We all helped." The dragon's voice carried admiration and warmth. "No, humans are unlike any other species I have encountered. You take risks, you think, you create, you care. That is why you survived, and that is why you saved me." Suddenly, the ground trembled. From the desert horizon, a group of alien scavengers returned, attracted by the generator's residual energy. Their ships hovered menacingly, scanning for life forms and powerful technology. Lena's pulse quickened. She had anticipated this possibility. "We have to act fast," she said. "If they get here, everything could be destroyed." Using the remaining energy from the generator, Lena and the team created a network of light pulses and energy shields, masking Sarathis and confusing the scavenger's sensors. The dragon, now fully awake and strong, spread his wings. He exhaled a brilliant beam of light, not harmful but dazzling enough to disorient the alien ships. The scavengers hesitated, unable to pinpoint the source of the energy. Lena directed the shields and energy pulses, guiding the dragon's movements. Together, human ingenuity and alien power worked in harmony. Within minutes, the scavengers retreated, unable to decipher the signals. Dr. Varen shook his head in amazement. "I've never seen humans work like this. It's incredible." Lena wiped sweat from her forehead. "We just think differently. We solve problems. That's what makes us human." Sarathis lowered himself beside her again, his massive body now fully restored. "I have lived for countless years, but today I have witnessed the true power of humanity. Small, fragile, yet capable of brilliance that rivals the stars themselves. You, Lena, are the future of your species." Lena's chest swelled with pride. She had started as a curious child, wandering the desert alone, and now she had saved an ancient, cosmic being. She had proven that humans, no matter their size or age, could face challenges that others could not. The team decided to move the generator to a more secure location within the ruins. Lena led the effort, carefully disassembling parts and reinforcing its structure. Sarathis assisted, not with strength alone but with guidance, showing where energy flows would stabilize the device. The bond between human and dragon had grown into mutual respect and trust. That night, under a sky filled with unfamiliar stars, Lena sat beside Sarathis. He curled slightly, enormous but gentle, and shared stories of his travels across galaxies. He spoke of planets no human had ever seen, civilizations that rose and fell, and the countless wonders of the universe. Lena listened, fascinated, absorbing knowledge and wisdom beyond her years. "You humans, you carry something special," Sarathis said softly. "Your curiosity, your courage, your ability to understand and solve it is unmatched. Perhaps you are destined to shape the cosmos." Lena smiled faintly. "Maybe, but today I just wanted to help you." Sarathis lowered his massive head, bringing it close to her. "And yet, by helping me, you have changed the course of history." Remember, Lena, humans can accomplish anything when they work together, when they care, when they dare to act. That is the essence of your species, and it is magnificent. The desert night was calm. The ruins glowed softly with the generator's energy. Lena felt a deep sense of fulfillment. She had faced the impossible, saved an ancient life, and proved that human courage, intelligence, and empathy could shine even in the harshest corners of the galaxy. As the first light of dawn touched the crystal spires, Sarathis stretched his wings and lifted into the sky. His scales glimmered in the sunlight, a rainbow of colors shimmering across his immense body. He circled above the ruins, then looked down at Lena and the team. I leave this planet, but I carry your spirit with me. Humanity is extraordinary, and I will sing your name among the stars." Lena waved, tears in her eyes. "Fly safe, Sarathas, thank you." The dragon soared into the sky, leaving a trail of brilliant light across the horizon. Lena watched until he disappeared into the distance, knowing that this was not the end but the beginning of a bond that would shape the future. The generator hummed gently in the ruins, a reminder of what had been achieved. Humans and dragon had worked together, blending courage, intelligence, and creativity. Lena knew that the galaxy was vast, filled with dangers and wonders, but she also knew that humanity had a spark unlike any other, an endless capacity to rise, to innovate, and to inspire. And as Lena stood among the ruins of Karis, she whispered to herself, "We did it because we dared, because we are human." The desert was quiet, the stars above endless. And somewhere out there, an ancient dragon carried the light of humanity into the cosmos, a living testament to courage, ingenuity, and the unbreakable human spirit.